Well, it's not often you get to go behind the scenes in an animal emergency hospital like ARH to see firsthand the love and care that everyone has for their patients.
So this is Norton. He's very cute, which has kept him alive. He's a little Frenchie bulldog puppy. He's 13 weeks old. So he went to his regular vet about 3 weeks ago because he couldn't keep any food down. He kept bringing it up, which is why he's so thin and really underweight. And now has a feeding tube because that's the only way we're keeping food down. So he's had a CT scan which showed a problem where his blood vessels are not on the right side in his chest. So they're all on the right side instead of the left side. And because of that, there's a ring formed around his esophagus, like a rubber band. So basically he's got like a constriction, a rubber band around his esophagus, just where his heart is. So all the food gets stuck there. So he's got this very big dilated balloon of an esophagus in front of that, which is why he keeps bringing up all his saliva.
Now, this video was initially made for vet students and those studying surgery.
So he's basically starving to death. So what we're going to do is try and break down that rubber band so he has a wider diameter to get the food through. Now, that'll work, but we can't...
Understandably, the full version is quite technical, but we thought you still might like to see a little bit of what goes on, minus the really messy bits, but more importantly, to see the result of major surgery on such a small and obviously much loved animal like little Norton.
But it's an issue, and we can't promise that he's going to be all right, but we're going to give it a good go, aren't we? We're going to make you better. So we're doing that today. So that involves us opening his chest. We're going to do a full kind of open chest. Move the lungs out of the way, find the abnormal kind of ring that we have to break down and deal with that and hopefully give him a new lease on life. Because he's so cute.
Right now, Norton is prepared for surgery by Dr. Sarah and surgery nurse Casey. All animals need to be anaesthetised for this kind of surgery and a tube is inserted into their mouths. This is called intubation and lets the surgery team keep Norton breathing with oxygen throughout the whole procedure.
I'm just looking at his airway because he's a French bulldog. They often have airway issues as well. His palate actually isn't too bad, at least at this age.
The area to be opened up is shaved clean. Norton's almost ready for his life-saving operation.
1, 2, 3, 4. So in surgery it's important to count the ribs because we're making a fourth intercostal space.
Now, as we said at the start, we won't be showing you all the messy bits in this family-friendly video. However, in a moment you will see Norton's problem and why he can't eat properly. Don't worry, we'll let you know beforehand. Right now though, Dr. Sarah needs to find the exact spot to work on, so is literally counting the ribs to make sure she has the right place.
Fourth intercostal space, so we make an incision through the skin.
Now, in a moment, you'll actually see Norton's chest opened up and his heart beating.
Much, but some of the sub-Q and the muscles that are over the chest. There's the bulging esophagus, and this is the ligament that's causing the band around it. Can you see it's kind of like a rubber band around the neck of it? And I'm just underneath it. It's coming off the pulmonary arteries here. You can see heart beating below, pulmonary vessel here, and that's the ligament that was a patent ductus when it was in utero, and then did what it was meant to do and form a ligament, but it just happens to be because all the vessels are on the wrong side of the heart, it formed a band. So that's what we've got to separate out. Okay. So we've got a chest drain in here, so that's going to drain any excess air or fluid from there. And we've run it underneath the skin and the muscle and then in, just behind where our hole is. We've got it connected to a three-way tap, so we can drain that later.
Dr. Sarah seems pretty pleased with herself.
Yep. It must be almost lunchtime, 4:30. Is that why I'm smiling? So this is Norton. What are we now, 3 days post-op? He's doing pretty well. He's not regurgitating anymore. He's still licking. He's still getting fed through his tube, so he's not able to eat by mouth much as he wants to. So every time he gets his food coming to him in the tube, in the syringe, he goes, I want to eat that, I want to lick it. And he tries to forage out stuff when he's put down on the ground. But he's managing to cope with the stomach tube still pretty well, and we're just starting to put on a little bit of weight, which is great. But the main thing is he's gradually improving. We have to wait for his esophagus, hopefully, to improve in its function before I can start him eating by mouth, so that might be another 2 or 3 weeks or so. But so far so good, and he's got through the worst of it. So I'll pop him down. You can have a little look at him. Oops, playing on the ground. Yeah, there you go. And have a little look around. What you doing? Look at the camera. There you go. Good boy. He's looking for food. You can see how underweight he is. He has to put on quite a bit to catch up.